All right, so let's just watch Skycam right now. So, is there? Oh, I have to actually click this. So, what? Why is this? Oh, it's like the POV is broken or something when I go to Rhine. So pretty much here, Houston is rolling out because they think it's going to be a Rhine mirror, but it's not. But there's not much they can do here but just shoot. Like, you can't really win against this comp. Like, Fuel is all spread out all over the map. But then the key moment here is basically that Repel doesn't die. Jexa is like right here on top of Repel. Everyone drops low on the Outlaws, but they don't actually focus anybody down. And I'm pretty sure it's done. Who's putting in the work on Gamsu? I think everybody actually put the work in on Gamsu. Killed him fast. And when Repel doesn't die, it's all over. Because there's no way you win if you don't kill Ana playing the comp Fuel's playing. It's nice work by the Outlaws there to kite so effectively. But yeah, it's just all cleanup now. But like, yeah, if your dive fails on Genji Doom, you don't win. And you also have no ults, which is pretty hard. I think Outlaws comp is way better without ults. Because it's just Reaper and Mei just shooting you, left-clicking you. They don't care about their ults. Jexa has like the fastest beat in the history of mankind right now. Like, this is insane to have a beat at this point in the game. So there's no way, like Decay, there's no way he thinks, like normally on Genji, you always have Blade before beat. So Jexa just got crazy heals. Like, this is a good play. He even hits the sleep, but he just can't do anything. They're doing their best trying to make it work, but there's no way. Even Repel sleeps Doha. Gamsu's not even able to charge his Primal, which makes sense because he's playing against a Reaper Mei, which just screws him. Huge sleep by Gamsu. The big bomb here, but Meko just farms ult off of it, or farms Primal. Oh, this is so bad. Gamsu just gets frozen off the sleep as well, even though he Primal. Look how fast he dies. So these fights are just going all really bad because the dives are just not succeeding onto Repel. He's living like the whole game so far. I don't think Repel has died once. And the comp that Fuel is playing is like kill Ana or lose. That's pretty much how it works. Their comp's pretty good at killing Ana, for what it's worth. This is where I think the Outlaws definitely beef this. Like, I want to see why Jexa beats, because I think that is... Okay. Actually, wait. Let's go back a little. Let's go back even earlier than this. So, I want to analyze, did Jexa need to beat here? I think this is why they lose, because I think he needs to beat the Nano Blade and not Doha's engage. So, everyone on Outlaws is full H. Good dive here, but yeah, beat is not necessary here. This is a mistake from Jexa. For sure. Like, for sure, it's not correct. Because then that happens, and Decay kills everybody. Yeah, they just needed to save beat here, 100%. Jexa is really good. He did play it really, really well this series. So I don't want to say he's like a bad player or anything, but that's just saying that's not the correct time to beat. For sure, not correct. But it's not over yet. I actually like the Brig swap here, as well as the Diva swap by Meko. I think this is really smart because Fuel have this high ground position, but this fight is very, very difficult. I kind of wish Jexa went Brig here though. Actually, I think it would have been better. Like, you're never going to be able to speed past what Fuel's running. Fuel has a Lucio of their own, so you're never going to, like, outrun them. You just need to, like, survive the dive. And that's where I really think that a Brig would just do more. Because then they're in this really awkward position of, like, yeah, they're inside, but they got to get back here. They don't have enough heals to sustain this position. Yeah, I mean, Jex is pretty close to his next beat, though. That's a big deal. Somehow he charged a lot that fight. But this fight is really bad. Dante going Sombra here is, I think, interesting, but I want to talk about this a little. I think it's not actually so good in this situation because Sombra is good when the enemy is holding up here on this high ground. Like, right, like where Fuel held last fight, then Sombra's really good. Because Sombra can just touch point, and then, like, you know, like your team can literally wait and spawn, Sombra touch point, they have to back out with, like, a tank or something. And then it's open season for your team to move in. But at the point that Fuel's already playing their supports here, Sombra touching point is not useful because the supports will just fight her and block her. So she, like, basically has to get a hack for it to be good. And I feel like it's weird because I don't think Reaper is that great either. But given the strategy that the Outlaws are running, they got this Lucio, Ryan, and stuff. I actually think staying Reaper might have been better here for Dante. Maybe McCree, but McCree's pretty vulnerable to, like, the dive. So I think Reaper actually is still the pick here. Even though it doesn't feel good. Like, you need a Reaper to scare away this Winston. Put a lot of pressure on him. Because right now they don't have the damage to kill tanks, I feel. With May Sombra. That E is pretty game winning, but I don't know if it would have done some, like the Blizzard. I don't know if it would have done that much. And now it's all over. I mean, now it's just clean up for Nanoblade. This is my first game review. Yep. Can't believe I'm not reviewing the best match of all time, Boston v Florida. I can review that one. It's only like 10 minutes, right? May is washed. I mean, I think May is not the best hero against dive. It's still extremely good in a Ryan mirror, though. I forgot how long this freaking match is, actually. Alright, so this fight is all about this side of the map here. Very, very important. And I want to really focus on the high ground, because I actually think that's the most important thing. I think Note should actually be doing what Meko is doing right now. I think it's really powerful what Meko's doing. But the critical thing, actually, is going to be Dante on the Sombra. He's just free poking. Okay, he gets forced out there. That's actually kind of a big deal. But Meko is really annoying. Like, he's constantly attacking the backline, so... Like, let's go back a little. Like, when Note does this... How is Note this far in is the other question. Did he get punched or something? I feel like he had to get punched. Like, why was he there? It's because the Sombra TP is right, so... Does Note just go here? Note and Gamsu both go, but you see Repel and Jexa, they're so smart. Look at them. Look how far back they are. Like, as soon as they see those tanks posturing forward, Repel and Jexa are right next to each other, and they're backing. So, armor onto Ana, armor onto Doom. D.Va's a free kill here. Body block by Muma, that's nice. But yeah, I love the Brig in the mirror here. I think this hero is a little bit broken in the dive mirror, because Rally is insane, and armor in general is insane. The one bright spot for Fuel is that they slowed down Dante's EMP a lot that fight. He did not get very much EMP this fight. Like, he got 36, but that's not great from Dante. It's just okay. So that's because Jexa has to play back. He can't armor Dante and allow him to spam farm and stuff, but it makes sense. He's got to protect his Ana. That's a higher priority. Now Dante is just scouting super hard here. I think Dante's just being really annoying in the backline, which is smart. This is where Muma takes the nano. This is just a primal farm nano / make the enemy go back nano. So Muma's, as soon as the nano ends, he's out, and he has a huge primal lead now. Now things are looking really bad, I think, for Fuel, because the only hope they have is Nanoblade, pretty much. But I think this comp is so good against Nanoblade, right? You got this guy to bash the Nanoblade. You've got this guy to sleep the Nanoblade. You can hack the Genji or the Ana and cancel the combo or neuter it. Like, if Genji can't dash, he's not so good. You can punch him. I don't know. I just think Nanoblade is not... It's very hard to execute against this full comp. In general. You have to, like, isolate a small group of the team, and if one player outplays your Nanoblade, it's a big deal. This was a little bit ambitious from Blase. He was, like, hoping someone would be on the high ground, but Crimzo, like, pushed up on the low ground, which is a little bit weird from Crimzo, but ends up Blase getting caught out. I think that's like... I actually would have liked to see him peel off when he realized no one's up there. But this fight is still super winnable. And this is where I think it's actually Meko God here. I'm just going to watch Meko POV now. Meko flies through everybody, just being a big old annoyance. Look at him, look at him. Drops in the pit, flies out of the pit, jukes. Comes off point, right back on point. He just steps off for 1 second. Dante goes on closer, so Crimso's distracted and has to heal closer. Meko back over here, through the house. Gamsu doesn't realize. Meko's still alive. Meko? Nobody can kill him, he's in the bubble. Oh, and he nukes. And it's over. That's the hold. Despite losing like 2 people early, Meko makes the hold. Twitch, is that what's up with that POV? Oh, can you guys see the stream? Is it effed? Oh shit, people don't even have sub icons right now. What the fuck? Someone says I'm good. It's weird because what's really weird right now is people don't have sub icons. I don't know what that means. That has to be an error on someone else's side because that never happened before to me. Mine is fine. Oh, we got sub icons back though. Good for me, good for me. All right, it's gotta be something on Twitch's end. Well, sorry y'all. I'm just gonna keep rolling though. Stopping and starting. I don't think this is actually not on my end. I think it's only on mobile. Yeah, it could be. Mine is stuck loading. Yeah, I don't know. Try F5s. Alright, I'm just going to keep going then. Sorry, guys. Hopefully your Twitch returns quickly. Twitch probably pretty good about their servers, I'd guess. But that's a really nice hold from Meko. Just being an annoyance, staying alive on point. Showing that a lot of times what divas do is not flashy. Like, Meko doesn't get any kills there. Right? I don't know if the bomb killed Gamsu, but Gamsu was dead either way after Dante hacked him. So it doesn't even matter. But Meko didn't get any kills there, but he just was super annoying. Oh, there's Twitch maintenance today. That's my lucky day for sure. Like, Meko is just, his job on Diva is to be an annoyance. And I love watching Meko because he is such an annoyance. Let's see what's Note's doing on the other side. Note's focusing a little bit on challenging tanks right now. But this is why I like Brig. Because, like, how do you hurt this hero? Look at, like, what do you do if you're Doha right now? You ult? Sure. Jexa has like 300 HP right now. Look at this. Let's go back. Look at this. Look at this. It's right on his head. All right. This is, I think, the reason Outlaws win this map is just look at the map position. It seems pretty similar. Like, most of the things are the same. The big differences, in my opinion, are obviously the Brig choice from Outlaws and the Sombra, right? The Sombra on the flank, like, Genji is going to... What I think is a mistake from Fuel here, though, is that because they're playing the Genji... Well, actually, it's not really a mistake because I don't think this works. But, like, hypothetically, if you're going to play this Genji... You probably want to be winning the fight on this high ground. Like, I think Decay is doing the right thing. This is a very strong position for him to be fighting, and he can shoot tanks a lot, which means he gets Blade. But if Note is up here, he's probably going to get hacked by Dante. So Dante being in this flank position is a big annoyance, and it means that Meko is the one who's going to win control of the high ground. And yes, Fuel gets the move through lower, but look how smart Repel and Jexi are. They see this coming like a mile away. This is really, really intelligent rotation from the sports. Like, the dive doesn't even get to the sports. They would have survived, but it doesn't even get there. And Meko is annoying both DPS and the Ana. So this is such a separated play now from Fuel. It's like you can already see that it's just not working at all. Even Winston gets slept. Like these are even, that's like not even necessary. Like I don't think it would have worked either way, right? Gamsu gets punched, tries to jump out. He's already really low though. He's gonna die. So that's just a really nice. I think strategically the Outlaws just have that fight won. It's not really an individual playmaking thing. I think that's also usually the case in Overwatch. Usually it's not an individual play that decides a fight, but rather a team strategy decision that has a bigger impact in my experience. This is a huge nade as well by Repel. I think Dante, if he had known, he might have been able to kill Decay even because Decay was 1 HP, but it's kind of close. Then we Nano gets invested on Amuma. Angelfish, thanks for the 23 months. Welcome back. Can't stay because you're going to do your project. That's good. You got to be responsible. 23 months Pog. Got to prepare yourself for 24 months. Epic. Welcome back. So yeah, this is a Nano and Amuma. It doesn't seem like it did that much, right? But it actually did a lot, I think. Because Muma is like really far ahead on Primal now. And the Fuel are all grouped up because they just got zoned back together. So as they push up, they're all in a unit. But the Outlaws have like a lot more spread, a lot more vision and map control. This, I think, is a small mistake from Blase to full commit here. I think once he sees that nobody's on this high ground, he probably should have ran away. But I think that was the call to dive on their back high ground. It was a good rotation by Closer and Crimso to be under there. They couldn't get caught in that circumstance. But here's where I wonder if Muma should have problemed there or if it's actually smart not to. I think it's actually smart not to. Because if he primals there, like, he's not killing anybody, you know, because Dante just TP'd out. Blase's dead. You're not going to get kills in here in like a 1v6. You're probably going to annoy Fuel, but you're not going to get kills with this primal. But Meko, with the help of Repel and Jexe, who, by the way, just look, silent MVPs here for Outlaws, Repel and Jexe, because look at that. They're always in good position. This Ana and Brig, always in really good position. Like, nobody can get to these guys. If they do, they have to cross the whole map. Normally, they would play up here, but as soon as the dive goes bad on the left side of the map, they know that Fuel is strong over here, so they are actually on the other side of the map. And when the dive does come in, Doha doesn't even land on them. So they back together once again. Repel and Jexe are playing really, really well this series. And even, look at that. This sleep onto Doha is so, so critical to why they win the fight. Like, Meko juking them around is the reason that Outlaws doesn't lose the capture point, which is really, really important. He's doing his job. Dante's harassing, not really that important right now, mostly just charging his EMP and messing with the Ana so she can't heal properly. But this sleep is what actually gives them the turnaround. And Jexe chases it down. Big Nano Blade to kill off Jexe, that's a really important target. But again, Repel rotated back to mid. He's not at risk for the Nano Blade. So the Nano Blade gets a 1k, which is not really good enough in my opinion. And this backline dive is way more effective from Doom and Primal. Alright. X-Patchy, welcome back for 8 months. But like, what's enabling Outlaws to succeed here is that the Brig and the Ana theoretically should have a disadvantage against the Lucio comp, because Lucio should theoretically always catch up to these heroes because all they can do is run away, and Lucio just speed amps and like gets on top of you, right? But because Repel and Jexe are playing the space really effectively, it takes like all of the mobility that Fuel has just to get to the supports. So they don't quite have the tools they need to get the kills once they get to them. Dante's being an annoyance, a distraction here. Like, Dante harassing here. Yes, Doha has a bubble. A, it forces the bubble from Gamsu. But B, it's like Doha's distracted looking at this. And then the rally. I think this rally might even be just a tad early from Jexe. I think they could have like... I think they could have waited just a little, but it doesn't really matter. I guess the armor... He's putting the armor on Blase, which makes a lot of sense, actually. So now Blase has like 400 HP and a full stack of armor. Who's the Nano on? Is it Muma? It should be Muma, right? Yeah, it is Muma. Fuck. It's annoying that I can't just go back to the skybox. But yeah, Nano's on Muma. Okay, let me get more over the top so it's better. And this backline dive is just going to be way, way more effective from the Outlaws. Rally is like, you just can't dive this. Like, Doha and Gamsu. Doha makes a valiant effort here to try and go in on this. And this is really telling, I think, because Repel takes, I think, max damage. I think he almost takes max damage from the Doom ult. But he's still alive because he had that stack of armor on him. That's the only reason he's alive, is the armor stack. And then he nades himself and he gets armor kitted again. And like, there's so much resources now invested from the fuel, and they're actually dying instead of getting kills. It's over. Jexa and Repel killing everybody, but it's the rally, it's the armor. They hard pocketed Blase the whole game. I mean, in this mirror match, you need to hard pocket Doom, especially if you play Brig. Like, the reason you pick Brig is so that you armor your DPS, mostly. You can also protect your backline really efficiently, but Lucio does that also really well. What Lucio doesn't do is really help the DPS be really hard to kill. And armor for these heroes is really, really annoying to deal with. Because both of these heroes, Sombra and Doom, can escape really easily if you fail to burst kill them. So armor makes it harder to burst kill them, therefore makes it way easier for them to escape. Or you could look at it as makes it way, they can play more aggressive, they can be more taking control of the game. And then Blase kills Doha. I don't know, maybe Doha uses Wraith form to roll out there. That's not that surprising, but yeah, it doesn't really matter what happens here. It's fight's lost. Decay has the Nano Blade or whatever, but I don't even think it would work if he got it off here. Maybe it would, but yeah, just too far behind that fight. And Jexa and Repel just doing a masterful job rotating based on the situation. Really preemptive rotations from them. They know, like, they're doing, the thing about Overwatch is you have to make the right move 2 seconds before the enemy team does, not at the same time. If Repel and Jexa are 2 seconds slower on all these rotations, they're just dead. Or at least they need like Meko to come save them. But because they're playing so well, every other, like the other 4 players on the Outlaws are aggressive, and only the supports are playing passive, which is a really big deal. Jexa on the Brig once again. I'm interested to see why it doesn't work on this map. I actually think this comp is just better than what Fuel's running. Potentially. I could see the Genji being better on this map than the others, but hack on the Decay, big damage onto Meko, pretty fair trade, slightly favors Fuel, I think. This dive is really good for the Fuel. And the reason it's really good for the Fuel is that in this case, the Outlaws don't have map control, right? Like, Dante's on an off angle, but that's pretty much it. And the cleave from this Fuel, like the Fuel's team is actually, this is how they want the fights to go. Is everybody being aggressive on top of a Lucio and getting this big cleave value, everyone stacked up for the Outlaws. So I think if Outlaws were going to replay this, obviously Meko took a shit ton of damage really fast. I don't know how that happened. Maybe he got punched or something. But the Outlaws probably needed to do a better job of spreading out and getting more map control. Jexa also drops to the low ground here, which I think is just not correct. I think he needed to be high ground. I guess, is Repel high ground? I think he is. So Jexa actually dies here, and he dies all alone. Like, I think this is just overconfident from him. Like, I don't know why he went down there, actually. I'm kind of confused. Have to rewatch that from his POV, actually. Let's see what he did this fight. Because obviously he looks bad when he dies here, but usually there's a reason. Well, I want to see what happens to Meko. Meko takes a shitload of damage. What happens? Oh my god, it's just literally everyone shooting him at once. It's not even like some sort of burst. It's just everyone shooting him at once. But why? He's got his heals procced. Oh, he thought he could bash Doha here. I think he needed to start holding S. I guess he needs to get the pills to live here, though. Yeah, I guess if he bashes Doha, it could work out. They could burst Doha potentially, but I think because he maybe didn't realize how much damage Muma and Meko took. Like, both their tanks have to be passive because they both took so much damage, and then it's the Brig going aggressive alone. So that's why this fight goes bad for Outlaws. And from here, it should be clean up for Fuel. Fuel did a nice job, though, of, like, get the 1 kill and then just go back. Like, you don't need to go chase these people in these tiny corridors. That's really risky against Doom and Ana. You could get, like, 5-man naded or slapped or Doom punched or, like, lots of bad things can happen if you go in here. The Mega might even be hacked. They don't know that either way because they haven't been in there. But regardless, Fuel gets 1 kill, and they get, I think, the most important kill because this is the slowest rollout here. Ana would be more important maybe, but the top 2 most important kills are supports for sure. Fuel gets 1. They know the fight's over. All they have to do is go cap. Muma's doing a good job being a bit annoying, harassing, trying to get some primal. That's pretty much all he can do here, though. There's no way he can contest point. Like, seriously. Now Outlaws actually find themselves in, I think, a pretty good position. Dante setting up the backline dive here. This is a really ambitious dive, though. That's the only problem with it. I was thinking of this when I was casting. This is really ambitious because, like, nobody can help except divers here. Like, there's no possibility for Ana assisting. Even Meko, not really realistic for him to assist. But nonetheless, Blase and Muma go in hard. Maybe they have to do this. They get one kill, but I believe it's just quickly traded. Oh, Meko would have loved to get that Bionade. That really hurts him. Nano barely gets on a Muma before the Bionade. That's a really big deal. Nice Doomfist ult from Doha. Committing everything is a Fuel here. I think the reason Fuel are winning this fight is mostly because that dive was like, didn't really get enough, I think. Like going 1-for-1 with Winston is pretty decent. But the positional, like Dante also has to teleport out in order for the dive to succeed. Dante has to like stay in a long time and shoot and TP back. So Dante's on like a reset. He might as well be dead. And everything committed now. And it just looks really awkward with Jexa down. Jexa could have played this one maybe a little slower as well, but it's hard to know. Brig is really tough to find the line. You know, you need to be aggressive in getting stuns for the hero to actually be effective, but at the same time, you know, it's not free. You can die doing that shit, so. Am I going to play Reg with Echo? I was just playing some ranked games earlier, but I might play later after I do some reviews. I don't know. Maybe not, though. I have a Korean lesson this evening, I mean. That sleep on a Muma is actually so important because this hack, I think it would have been a kill with Muma's out. No, it is a kill anyway. Okay. So it doesn't actually, sleep doesn't matter that much. This is a pretty big deal, though. Decay gets a pretty much perfect Nano Blade right now. Yeah, pretty much perfect. And you can see even Closer goes all in just to speed this Nano Blade around. That's how important it is. Blase doing a good job. Punches Decay, but Decay still has a Nano, so he lives for a while. Meko has to come to finish him off. And now this fight looks really awkward. Oh, Momo even got booped off there. What happened with that? Oh, yeah, I didn't back enough, I think. Oh, nice boot by No. I think Muma's just dead there, though. It doesn't really matter too much because I think he would have just died to the D.Va and Winston chasing him. So the boop off wasn't really significant. I mean, it's good from Note, but not like the fight changer. Now Gamsu just hiding on point. Gets scouted by Dante. This is a big deal. But Gamsu's ready and cancels the hack. This is a pretty important situation, you guys. Right now, for the first time in the whole round, Fuel has really poor map control. And it's actually the Outlaws who has like a way better concave. You can see like the Outlaws have a way better situation on the map. But it kind of gets broken because the last piece of the concave, which is Dante in the most aggressive position on the team, gets canceled. And I think he has to TP or something. No, he gets saved. Actually, it's a big deal. He can stay fighting. But Gamsu's getting tanked. And this is also huge, actually. Doha misses the kill on Dante there. Doha like just messed this up pretty bad. Like, Dante just lives on 1 HP because Doha didn't full charge his punch. They were on the cam when that happened. That's a really big deal, actually. It's kind of, like, could have lost them the round. Because that should have been a free fight after Crimson got that sleep. Meko bombs, but Meko dies in the bomb. That's really bad as well. Meko needs to be protected in that. But Doha's on the case, so he can't get out. Nice ult from Blase. Puts Doha really low, gets the cap. Does Jackson need this rally? I think there may have been an early rally as well. Looks early to me. Like, they were down players, but Fuel had just backed out. So, I actually think if they had saved this rally, they might have been able to win this next fight. Because the problem is, Dante has no choice, I think, but to take this EMP. Like, he pretty much has to, or else his team is just going to die and lose point. Like, Muma's dropping low, and he's got spawners coming in, but they're not there yet. So, Dante needs to EMP this, but then the beat obviously saves everybody. And then if the Outlaws have a rally like right here, they're all still healthy. They could definitely win with a rally right now. Jixie gets booped off, I believe, by by closer, so that's nice by closer as well. Again, with the rally, he maybe wouldn't have had to go around the corner, so you might not have gotten booped. The problem with rally is that it's easy for the Lucio team to kite it. So you only really want to use rally as like a pure defensive tool, I think. Although Jexa did it before preemptively as well, just to make his Ana super tanky, and make his Doom super tanky. So I guess there's merit to it, but I think because they were not 6, then it was not so good. So they needed to be like more greedy with the rally because they were too far behind, in my opinion. I don't think they're like bad rallies per se, but just like maybe slightly below what's optimal. Closer at clutch phase, yeah. I think Fuel played really, really well. I think both teams actually played really well. It was just a blast to watch because it wasn't like people weren't really. There was like a couple errors throughout the series, and I think people probably overrate those errors, how significant they are, because there was only a few like big errors. Like most games have more than that, you know, like people getting caught out more. But these games are very like positional and very like team play heavy. It's not really some one player making a huge carry play, which usually means somebody made a mistake if somebody's able to carry. One bar, I think one bar is 25 HP. It's not depending on the hero, like, or is it, right? No, I think it is not depending on hero. Like the bars on Winston are just smaller because it looks basically the same size, or D.Va, but D.Va just has more health, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's 25 HP. One bar means you can melee. Like Dante has 200. Let me turn on the spectate overlay. Repel and Crimzo just trading shots, farming ults. Doesn't really matter. Nothing important yet. Let's see how this first contest is really nice from the Outlaws. Muma is really annoying here. It was actually a good move by Doha to just rush out and try and freeze Muma, because that's the only thing that's going to make Muma run away, is trying to get, if he gets frozen, then he'll die. So he actually needs to not get frozen. But Muma has 45 primal here, 42 primal. That's a really big deal to get that free, essentially free. And as well, the hack onto Rhine. Just, the Outlaws are doing a really good job of slowing them down. I think Blase is just hiding with Jexa here. I think they're just purely not showing. Like, this is pretty smart as well, because these heroes aren't really going to have impact in this sort of fight. Like, Brig, what is he going to do? Shoot a whip shot? That's pretty useless. And what is Doom going to do? I mean, you could spam left clicks, but you can't like go in because they do not want to commit into this far away area that's really, really far from point, far from their Ana. Doom and Brig just can't really fight here. So instead, Blase and Jexa are actually just not revealing their position, which is the next best thing they can do. If sometimes the enemy not knowing where you are is more significant than if you weren't going to be effective anyway in the fight, then the hiding play makes sense. And that just shows that this play is not committed from the Outlaws. It's like a soft play. Again, Muma poking, jumping out. In this case, I actually want to highlight something that Muma did really intelligently here. Most of the time, Winstons do this harass play. They do bubble while they harass. But because Fuel just moves out into Muma, he doesn't bother bubbling because he knows they're just going to run into it, and he just runs away. Which means, really critically, means that he will have bubble when the key engage comes out. And if he had used bubble here, he would not have it ready for this fight. Like, not even close. So, because Muma has bubble, like, now, it's actually way more important. It doesn't get so much value, but it actually allows the tanks to be really annoying. They can use the Winston bubble here. It's a good move by Fuel, though, because Fuel just catch Repel out. Let's go back, actually. Let's see. Look at Repel's positioning in this fight. Let's see what he could have done better here. Repel is on the low ground. I think that is the error in this circumstance. I think Repel is maybe expecting them to come out high ground because they went inside. But I think Repel just overstays his welcome here on the low ground. Like, now he's on the bottom right. He's far from the stairs. And then when Decay TP's on him, he's just caught. Like, if Repel had managed to get up to the high ground, I think it would have been a lot harder for Fuel to make this play. Because then they go high ground, he jumps down, and he, like, crosses point. And then, like, Fuel only have one speed boost, right? So if the initial speed boost doesn't get a kill, then it gets pretty hard for them. It's a nice TP by Decay as well to cut off Repel's retreat, though. That you got to highlight that. Dante picks off Crimzo. That is actually going to end up being a very high impact kill because Crimzo is a slow. He's like an Ana, right? So he doesn't spawn quick. Jexa just being annoying. He can't really do anything here, but he can just be annoying and try to survive. And as well, Muma comes to assist him. It's pretty important. Inelastic Flame, thanks for the Prime sub. I'm pausing a lot because the Outlaws get a crazy retake here, and I want to see what conditions allowed the retake to happen. Because the retake was really unexpected, honestly, from me. I didn't think they would go for it, but they did, and it worked, and they won the map off of it, pretty much. It's nice from Crimzo. Crimzo has like a nade from spawn. It's like, I wonder if he knows that lineup, or if he's just doing it. Wait, how does Jexa kill Gamsu? What the fuck? Wait, that's why they retake. I didn't even see this, I think, when I was casting. Does Gamsu chase him around this back right? Yes, he does. That's funny. Gamsu tried to pin and missed his pin. That's actually funny. That's why they go for the retake. Okay, I didn't understand why they went for the retake. I think I just missed that kill when I was casting. But that's why. Because no Rhine means, like, it's way harder to contest point. Dante, ooh, almost dying to Crimzo there. But Crimzo is now isolated. And pressured very heavily. Is Meko going to die? No, Meko as well. Survives. Everyone now doing the Outlaws doing a great job of restabilizing, getting re-healed. They have this Ana get re-healed, you know? What happens? This is a key moment. This is the key moment. Alright, watch Note's cam here. Watch Note's cam here. Note focusing Meko. This is why they lose. Because Note's Meko is 1 HP baiting, being an annoying troll. And now he's hacked and he's going to die. Oh, and they tried to lock Blase in, which would have been smart. Obviously, Blase would finish off Note there. But that's going to happen anyway. But Blase just barely slips out of the Meiwa, and that means he kills Doha. It's really important. I'm just going to watch the Blase cam now because he's going to clean up. Nice, nice, nice. It's smart of him not to punch there. If he punches there, Gamsu could counterpin him and he would die, probably. Mumaz as well. Mumaz was slept as well, so there's like another reason not to get aggressive on Doom. This is where game is really, really hard, I think, for Fuel, because this dive comp is way better, in my opinion, once they have these key ultimates. Like, the DPS ults are really important for dive, and so are the tank ults. I think support ults are arguably the least important for dive. In this matchup, like Rally isn't gonna save you from like a self-destruct or a blizzard or whatever, right? It's better in the dive mirror than it is here. Nano is pretty good, but Repel will charge that fast. The biggest deal is like EMP and Doom ult, because then Doom can just go super YOLO on you and you get EMP'd, and like, I don't know how you survive. All right, I'm gonna should go back to Skybox now. This is really nice by Muma. This bubble cuts off heals from Crimzo. So Crimzo drops the nano, but what is that? I think it's on Decay. Yeah, it is on Decay. Where is Decay? Oh, he's on the back line. He's going on Repel again. Decay is just constantly focusing Repel, which is smart because the Ana is a key healer, and bio nades are everything is really important about the Ana in this comp. So the fact that Decay can just TP solo and take the 1v1 is a really big deal. If he gets slept, he will like lose, but because he kills Repel, this fight's much closer to having a real chance here. The beat comes down from Crimzo in response to Dante's EMP, or sorry, from Closer in response to Dante's EMP. But I think Doha dies just a second too early for the beat, which is really important because Mei would be really annoying for Outlaws to fight in this sort of long contested fight. Blase did a really good job there of demeching Note. And now the rally is like a game ender here. Dante finishes off Closer. And now without speed, this comp is really neutered. Like, you're never going to catch anybody without speed, so you just have to run. This pick off on a Note because Note's still in Baby Diva form. Now this turns into like a really awkward stagger for Fuel. and Muma's able to do this and like be really, really aggressive and just farm ult. But I mean, Fuel just back out of the choke as they should. They need to regroup with their backline. But now it's feeling really awkward for them because they've got these two ults, but I think this is like probably the least important ults. Like I think Blizzard normally is a really powerful, but against a full dive comp with Sombra Doom, it's really not that good. Both of those heroes can escape it most of the time. Doom especially can escape it with Meteor Strike unless you somehow CC him forever. And Death Blossom is kind of trash. Like, let's just look at Death Blossom here. Doom can punch you and cancel it. Sombra can hack you and cancel it. Winston can run away or bubble it off. Winston's probably the most vulnerable to it. D.Va can use Matrix on it. Ana can sleep you and cancel it. Rig can bash you and cancel it. So this ult is almost useless in my opinion. And Mei ult is just, again, really hard to catch people with. So now it looks like the Fuel have some tools, but these are pretty bad tools for the situation. Muma even gets slept here and pinned. That's a pretty big error from Muma. Nice sleep by Crinzo. Because Muma, he really wants to get his Primal up here, but I actually think he doesn't need to. I think he should just wait for Repel's Nano and then go for a play. But, yeah, it's a bit of a mistake from Muma, I'm pretty sure. I mean, obviously, he got slept and killed, but the peel onto Decay is really annoying, too. He's really low. I think he's going to get nanoed here to just keep him up. Nano comes onto Reaper. Doom instantly ults away. Sombra, well, she's Sombra. She can just TP out. And this is the position Repel's in God spot right now. Let's just watch the fight from Repel's POV. You'll see why they win. Because I don't know what he does, but I'm sure he does a lot. That's a fat nade. Focusing on the damage because he knows how strong the position is. Like, his team doesn't need health at all. TP comes down onto him, as Decay has been wont to do. But he just drops right into the waiting arms of Jexa. They did a really lovely job kiting this Reaper around. And now it's pretty much over. Meko eats that Blizzard. And that's what I talked about. Death Blossom gets Matrix and slept. I mean, if Repel misses that sleep, it doesn't matter, actually. They're just way too far ahead now. Really nice hold. Let's watch the attack. I think Fuel is just playing a superior comp here, at least in theory, because Hanzo does more damage than McCree when he shoots shields. So, looking at the matchup here, I just don't like the Outlaws comp. I think McCree needs to flank and get kills for this comp to win. If you just all shoot shields, so like I actually don't like this play from the Outlaws because I think they're just going to lose like every time doing this play. Not only do you have to go out this small choke, potentially, and risk getting like Maywalled and cut off and be in a really bad spot, but even if that doesn't happen, you're just playing McCree against Hanzo, and there's no flank here. It's like both teams are shooting shields. Let's see how it goes. Pretty sure Decay shoots a Sonic, which is really impactful. Because now, not only does Fuel have the spam advantage, they also can see exactly when the Outlaws come out, so it'll be like really, really easy to spam shields. Like, super easy. So Outlaws come out, but there's just no way they can win the shield trade here, the way I see it. There's just no way. The idea was to Maywall and split them, but they just it didn't work. They didn't split anybody. So it's a slight miss by Blase. This isn't really a mistake. Blase has Ice Block here, but he's also full HP when he dies, so it's like, well, he got headshot. Shit happens. What am I doing? I'm just reviewing Overwatch League matches. Looking at strategies. If Meko hadn't eaten the Blizzard, I actually don't think the Blizzard eat mattered all that much. Like, because what was he even aiming for? The Blizzard, probably the Brig, but the Jexa has Bash, I think, so probably doesn't matter. Jexa probably just bashes out of the Blizzard. It would have been a minor annoyance to have the Blizzard zoning them, but I think Outlaws would have won that irregardless. I think the Outlaws were so far ahead. The Outlaws won a 5v6 because Muma went in and died before that last fight, so kind of a big deal. I like this swap a lot from Blase though, because what this swap does is it changes the nature of the game. If you're gonna play McCree Mei into Mei Hanzo, all other heroes are the same, right? Then the game's gonna be all about shield trading, right? Or like in theory, like Hanzo is a hero who wants to shield trade. Mei is a hero who is okay at shield trading, and especially on defense is really effective because you can split the enemy up, which is another way to be a really good shield trader. And Icicles are decent, and she's like about middle of the pack in shield trade, so she's not bad. But McCree is worse than Hanzo. Hanzo's like one of the very best shield traders besides Bastion. So the fact that Outlaws were playing this first fight as a shield trade, I don't like. I don't think that's correct at all. I don't think they'll win like that. Maybe if Blase got the wall to split them or something, but didn't work, so I don't know. It feels awkward. But the Doom switch, Doom and McCree actually now have a lot more synergy because now it's Hanzo Mei. Yeah, okay. Like this is Outlaws saying, sure, you win the shield trade. If we all shoot shield, you'll win the shield trade. Outlaws are accepting that now with the Doom pick because this guy does not shoot shields. But now McCree is like, oh, McCree is like activated to be a flanker because of this Doom, right? Now Doom is going to disrupt them, and it won't be a question of shield trade. It'll be a question of like dive and burst kills, which is where McCree can slip around the corner and flash somebody or get some quick kills. And now Hanzo is like kind of struggling because Hanzo wants to shoot shields and now he has to fight players, which isn't quite the best situation for him. They do a good job of peeling off Decay. Decay escapes, but now Outlaws have an extremely good position on point. They're in control of point. The one bright spot for Fuel is that they're going to have the next Nano, and this Nano didn't really, like, Blase wanted a kill with that Nano for sure. The counterpin by Muma and Gamsu here ends up going the way of Outlaws. They have better focus on the Rhine on the ground. Does Muma die as well? Nope, he lives. How does I thought Outlaws lose this fight, so how did they lose it? Is it a pickoff by Decay? Oh yeah, it is. Decay has the dragon, right? This is the only Fuel have this is like over, but Decay has a really smart dragon here. And he actually sends the dragon, if you notice, it's in the retreat path. So like if the Outlaws realize this and they just push in, just hold W, push in, this fight's over and Fuel loses. But Decay knows without Rhine, they are in a very bad spot. Like that's a really big deal to lose your Rhine here. So this this Dragon Strike is really big brain because this Dragon Strike is like a very all-in play, and Repel like assumes the Dragon Strike will be on him and he actually retreats back into the path of the Dragon Strike. It's a really good way of using it. Repel doesn't even see this coming. He would assume that it's going to be like a frontline Dragon Strike, but in fact it's for him, and it gets the Ana kill. And I don't think there's any other way that Fuel were getting an Ana kill here, frankly. Like, Repel would have just lived forever and sit in this hut and be a huge annoyance. But because Decay puts it on the retreat path, he catches out Repel. So that's like the reason this fight stabilizes at all here. And then Decay gets another. So Decay really clutched hard here. Do I still live in Houston? Nope, never lived in Houston. I left the team before they moved. But yeah, that's an ultra clutch from Decay, but Blase sort of salvages it, gets these late support picks, which is going to mean momentary power play for the Outlaws. Should get them through the choke, but it's going to be a 6-on-6 if Fuel play this intelligently. Oh, I skipped forward too far. Like, this is the impact of Blase's late kills on supports. Normally, Fuel would not allow this to happen. They would be contesting aggressively here. But without supports, Gamsu just cannot do that. So it means that Outlaws get this really strong position. They're able to high noon on point, and no one's close enough to really pressure this high noon. So they're pretty much just going to have to yield to it, right? The Mei wall is nice from the Mei wall is pretty nice from Doha to slow it down, but Dante's still going to shoot shields with this. And as well, Mekko's not falling for the same trick twice, right? Decay goes for basically similar dragon a second time, and this time Mekko's there to eat it, which is super, super important here because that dragon could have been a big annoyance in terms of how the Outlaws wanted to play the fight. Meteor Strike comes out. Muma dies to that bomb. Wait, how'd that happen? Did he get slept? How did Muma die? Does Muma have no shield or something? Oh no, Muma. Did he just not hold shield? Oh yeah, that's actually a big error. That's just not. Yeah, was just too greedy there. Trying to like get further back and pull up shield at the last second, but he ends up dying because of it. That's a pretty big deal, actually. Big mistake from Muma here. Because the beat came down a second later, right? So there's no way Muma would have died except for messing up and dying to that bomb. Like, even if his shield gets smashed, he's trying to get as far away from the bomb as possible so it doesn't finish off his shield. But in doing so, he just doesn't put his shield up in time. That's kind of one of those things also that's like an online thing. Like, on LAN, like, Muma's probably used to playing matches on LAN, and on LAN, he probably gets that, right? It's like Mei ice blocking. Like, on LAN, you can, like, ice block when you're at fucking 1 HP on Mei. You know, you can be really greedy with it because it's instant. But online, you have to be, and same for Rhine Shield. It's, like, almost instant to put up shield on LAN. But obviously with ping in the mix, then I noticed that, especially right after I left the Overwatch League and I stopped playing on LAN, I would like make those mistakes all the time of like missing timings because I was trying to be greedy, expecting it to be instant, and then I would get screwed. So I think that's probably why that happens. I think Moon was just used to playing on LAN for matches, and because that's just like an error, but it's also I would just looking at that, it looks like the type of mistake that you make because you're used to playing on LAN. But Blase finishes off note. That's really important. Meko drops the bomb in a really annoying spot here. Really annoying spot by Meko, so props to him. Bomb is like in here. Gamsu pins the bomb, but gets slept. Is he going to die to it? Wait, who wakes Gamsu up? Wait. Oh, was that? Somebody beefed. Somebody definitely beefed. I want to watch this fight in detail because it's really, this fight is full of beefs, actually. Who wakes him up? Who was it? Was it you, Meko? It was Meko. Meko screwed himself. Or who was it? Who was it? I need to know. Was it Blase? Who did it? No, it wasn't Blase. I think it was Meko, actually. Meko has nobody but himself to blame. I mean, to be it's kind of a big deal, actually, because Gamsu dying for free there with almost shatter would have been like huge. I mean, they still win this fight, right? But another mistake. It's a pretty epic sleep by Repel, to be fair. Think about how far away he is. So they probably did not expect that sleep to come down. They definitely didn't expect it. This is nice by Jex as well. Zones Decay for a few seconds. And then Decay is like not a relevant factor in this final fight. And Gomps is just holding shield and getting surrounded. And it's all over. Yeah, it was the baby diva that woke up Ryan and took away her own kill. Nice round, nice game by the Outlaws. Couple of mistakes there that I didn't notice while I was casting. The sleep only lasted for like half a second though, because usually that's how it goes with the sleep. Either the sleep is good and nobody wakes him up, or they get woken up like instantly because somebody's already shooting. All right, so on this map, I actually think the Outlaws make a compositional mistake here on attack. I don't think they should be playing the Diva into the Rhine Sig. I think they should potentially mirror the Ashe, and I also think they should play Rhine Sig as well. I think Sigma's just better here than Diva. That's my view. Nice annoying dynamite there from Decay. It doesn't do damage, but it forces the Outlaws to like wait 2 seconds before coming out of spawn. Captain James Kink, thanks for the 2 months. Welcome back. Thanks for the sub. Yeah, Note's going to get a lot of value from this position. Not much that can be done about it. That's why I would actually rather Meko be on Sig here, because Meko's pretty much just hiding. Like, what else can he do? He can't like go out and spam, because that's not what Diva does. He needs to like rush. I guess with the Reaper, this comp makes sense, because then Devo can help the Reaper rush. That's the idea here. But I just think, I don't know. I actually just don't like this comp, though, on this map. I don't think the Reaper rush is all that good on this map, especially because back here at the high ground, it's really hard to do that. And, like, Fuel can just retreat, and they know that they're winning by just retreating, which is really easy to do, and it's really simple. And I think simple, easy strategies are, like, the best strategies. Strategies that don't need to be convoluted to be effective. The Reaper rush can be similar, but on this map, I don't think it's obvious how you Reaper rush, because once the defenders take the high ground position, I think it's pretty hard. Petrick, welcome back for 7 months. Definitely not a Reaper map. I don't think it's the worst Reaper map, but I just like the Ashe Sigma Mei style more. I just think it's more effective. The other thing, though, is you could also play dive into this. You could play dive into this. And maybe in hindsight, after the way the series went overall, with the Outlaws having by far the most success on dive, that in hindsight, they maybe would have played dive on attack here. You know, but hindsight's 2020. If you're not going to play dive, I would much rather you play Sigma with like another ranged hero in Mei. Like basically mirror match. I actually think the mirror match is not too bad here on attack. Like, yes, the enemy Ashe has high ground, which is a little bit annoying. But Dante has to like TP in on Decay, and this is just a terrible fight. Immediately peeled by Closer, and Decay is backing off. Like, nice flank by Meko actually to attack this Ana. But Decay snipes down Jexa. That kill is actually kind of a game saver, because Fuel are kind of losing position right now. With this play that by Meko to harass the shit out of Crimzo, a lot of people from the Fuel have to come back. And there's not really any Fuel engagement here. It's literally a solo kill by Decay, just crushing Jexa. Headshot, body shot. If he doesn't get that kill, this could be a very different fight. Like, if Muma and Dante can, like, speed in right now on the Rhine, which I think they would do if Jexa's alive. Like, speed in and help Meko. I think Meko's distracting, like, 3 people right now, so I think it would go really well for them if they did that play. Dante's doing a good job attacking Decay, not letting Decay get, like, free value. Does Dante get bursted here or something? Oh, I think he does. Maybe he didn't. Actually, he might have used Wraith trying to connect. Muma has Nano, but he's chasing down a Mei who has Ice Block and gets pocketed. And again, once again, Fuel just can... Because of Fuel's comp, they know that anytime a fight is awkward, you just go back. Like, it's really simple to play into this comp, because Reaper has to be on top of you to do anything. And like this whole comp, Reaper, Mei, Lucio, D.Va, all those heroes want to be on top of you. And your comp wants to have range. So it's just really easy to just go back every time the fight gets awkward. Just retreat. Now Dante is going to be on the Hanzo, and this is where I think Meko needs to go Sigma. I think this is like this is a bit of a mistake. I just think D.Va made sense when they're playing Reaper and they want to like split the enemy up and surround them and gank them as one. But as soon as you go Hanzo, you turn into a shield spamming game plan, and Sigma's just better at that. So I don't think there's really much chance for Outlaws in this fight. Like, this is it's so hard to play Hanzo here. Hanzo, you're never winning the shield trade because it's 2 shields versus 1. So, like, as Hanzo, you almost don't want to shoot shield because of how hopeless the shield trade is in this matchup with these tanks. Like, it's so hopeless that you're like, fuck it, I'm just going to go for kills. Which is not really, I think, what you want to be doing on Hanzo. On attack, at least. Maybe on defense. But on attack, when you're very far behind in the shield trade, I think it's very hard to play Hanzo. Like, with this play, I don't, like, they have Hanzo. I don't know why they do this, actually. They want to, like, get under them and push cart for free is the idea, but that doesn't actually work, right? Like, Fuel can just stand on the edge and contest cart. I mean, in this case, Fuel go all in, and it works really well because Doha hits a nice wall that cuts off the team from Muma. But I just don't think this is correct, really, at all from Outlaws. Because even if you get under Cafe successfully, can't the Fuel just, like, AFK right on the edge with Rhine and just hold cart and, like, waste all your time? In this case, the Fuel just initiate, and it works really well. But Hanzo is, like, not doing anything in this fight. Another fast play. This time Hanzo splits. Okay, this actually makes more sense. Because Hanzo being on alone now means that these players are basically a distraction for Hanzo. But this is a good opportunity for Hanzo to get some kills. Like, Hanzo has a couple free shots here. They're not easy shots, though. And the wall on Repel really messes with the Outlaws here. They do a great job, actually, staying alive with the Ana caught behind an ice wall. And this is a very defensive wall. Now they're just trying to isolate Doha. But the save comes in hard for Doha. They drop Blizzard and Sigil. And I think they're all going to get frozen after the Sigil. Yeah. It was a good idea from the Outlaws here. This is the first fight where I feel like, oh, they actually played that fight well. And, not the first fight, but this is, like, probably the best plays they've had in the fight, but they just got out-ulted, which is the reality of Overwatch. Like, if you have 2 bad fights and you have a good fight, your good fight's not good enough, most likely. Easy fix is just not allow 2 shield tanks on one team. Well, what counts as a shield tank? How about Winston? You can't play Winston and Rhine? That comes trash. So, like, it would just nerf Winston or whatever. I don't know. I think that's a bad idea because it creates this really weird restriction on the game where you can't have shield tanks. I mean, I don't think... I just think you need to nerf Orisa, realistically. I think Rein Sigma is not, like, an oppressive comp or not, like, an OP comp. I think Orisa Sigma is really not fun to play against because a Halt is so strong in combination with the double shields, and it's really easy to land. So... that I think is a problem, but I think it's a very specific problem. I don't think it's like Rein and Sigma or like Winston and Sigma. Like the only comp that's really annoying is Orisa Sigma, in my opinion. Halt is also just a really stupid ability. It's a nice rock actually by Note there. It's a really sick lineup. Try and slow somebody down. Once again, another fast play. Like I just feel like this is so awkward. Like the Hanzo is gonna struggle here. Like really, really struggle. And Decay just crushes him. But I don't think Dante's playing bad. I just think it's really hard to play Hanzo here. Iowa 42. Welcome back for 7 months. The Outlaws doing a pretty respectable job fighting 5v6 here, but it's a 5v6. Decay is playing really passive right now. I kind of wonder why he does that. I think he could be more aggro, but whatever. It's because they're all under them, right? So in this case, Fuel are just waiting for last fight. I feel like Fuel, they could have been a bit more decisive here. Actually, no, it's smart not to because they don't have ults to commit with. They don't have key ults to commit inside with. And if they like drop the beat and go in with it, then it's going to be really hard countered by the ults that Outlaws have here. Blase is really aggressive here. Oh, that shatter is very important. Big shatter forces beat. Why does this go wrong here? Well, what goes wrong? Blase dies. This is really bad because Blizzard only got a trade kill. So it's basically like you didn't really get anything out of Blizzard here. Dante also gets rocked trying to get on the back line. Big rock from Note there. That was pretty important as well. I kind of wish the Outlaws stayed more focused on cart here. I guess you feel like you have to contest these high ground heroes, but I'm not sure that you do. I think just Diva matrixing them would be enough here to annoy them. And everyone else focusing cart, I think would have been a little bit more effective here. Big counter pin by Gamsu there. Just keep himself up. Is he going to live too? I think he might. Yeah, that's how they make the hold. Gamsu lives. Yeah, and then this is pretty much over here. The Ashe is free shooting. She has Bob as well. Yeah, I don't think Houston played really that well on this offense, TBH. They have to push the Ashe, yes, but I don't think you can commit on the kill. When the Ana's with her, unless Doom like lands on her head with uppercut still available, I don't see you killing her. So I think they should have just had Meko like annoy the Ashe and the Ana, slow them down, and use the Doom to like pick off the tanks on cart while the Ana and the Ashe are pressured and distracted. But also because Blase is dead, so they need like help on the cart getting those kills, or else they're not actually going to be able to secure them. Hindsight's 2020 though. Obviously, it's very easy to say that with a fucking sky view, and I can see everyone's health bars and everyone's ults and everyone's position. The Outlaws, in my opinion, very wisely here, are not going to forward hold. And I think when you're running this comp, like, if they forward hold and fail, they will get a recontest, but they won't get a proper fight. Like, they'll be trickling in chokes, and Fuel could, like, camp right here with 5 players. Well, they push car. You know, so if the Outlaws lose one fight, it's over. So they're just playing for one fight, which is smart. I like the comp as well. Fuel's running. McCree Torb, I think, is quite strong against this. Torb is really annoying against Sombra. So you don't break the turret very efficiently. But Blase catches Decay, and that's what wins the fight. Dante kills Crimzo. So the catch on McCree and Ana, these are the vulnerable targets, and Houston targets them and kills them. So really well played by Houston. And they catch them on the rotation as well. Once Fuel reaches this point, like right here, then I'm not sure the dive will work. You know, actually, in hindsight, I wonder if the break is correct. It actually might. I think because they're playing this Torb and McCree, I think they actually need a Lucio. from Fuel. Like, and my thought is that if Fuel can speed boost to this position, if they can get around to the high ground up here, then there's no easy way to dive. So yes, Brig might help you stay alive a little bit longer, but she's not getting you out of Winston's cleave, right? Winston is going to farm you, and Doom is going to farm you, unless you bash him. But that's not easy to do when Winston and D.Va are going in as well. So the Brig has to play like ultra defensive this fight. Makes sense, but not what you really want. Like, I don't like this from Fuel. They're all inside on the low ground. But that means like you're letting Outlaws have whatever map control the Outlaws want. And this is ideal, right? Ana right above your heads, drop nades on you and sleep you. Both tanks right above your head so they can just walk in instead of using cooldowns to go in. And then they can jump out. So it's like free value for the tanks. And then Doom and Brig set up together so they're hard to push out. Like, you can't push those out with one player. You need like 2 to 3 players to push those guys out. And then Dante's in the back line where he should be. So this is pretty much perfect positioning from Houston. Even Blase is going to join them right above their head. That's fine. Jexa is just staying in position to armor and be annoying. He doesn't really want to do much here. Not much he can do, frankly. But yeah, Outlaws just have this high ground controlled, and they're just pecking away at this Fuel squad because they know they're going to get the first ults because they had the first team fight win. So as long as they just trade fairly, they're going to have the first ults this next fight. So they're just cycling tank cooldowns and biding their time. And then this is a great moment to attack, right? Just as Fuel groups up to walk along this thin high ground where they have very limited mobility and they're trying to push toward Jexa to put pressure on him. If they catch Jexa, Jexa will die here, almost certainly, because he's alone. But that's what makes this initiation so perfect, is it's just as Fuel wants to rotate, and they're in a position where they really don't have much options. Like, they can only go one way. These guys, these DPS are caught out alone, and it's a Nano Winston, so you're pretty scared. And Ana gets hacked, Brig gets punched out, stunned out. So, like, this was super successful here from the Outlaws. Gamsu's all on his own, somehow staying alive. Is he fall here? Yes, he does. Okay, so this is a really perfect dive here from Outlaws. Only the nano boost committed, and they're crushing the team fight. And even these players might die. These last retreaters from Fuel might just die. Torp turret's still here. Someone should have broken this Torp turret in the middle of the fight. I guess they don't really have time for it, though. They probably did. I think they just didn't see it. Yeah, 55 on Nano to go next. A great point. I mean, Outlaws, you basically can't get more efficient than that last fight. Use the Nano to start the fight. The fight goes long and your Ana farms a shit ton. She's going to have another Nano quick. This time, instead of, obviously you don't have the Nano to engage on this rotation on Jexa, but this time Jexa has Rally. So everyone can just run to Jexa and stand on top of him. And like, even though Fuel have a Rhine, which gives them an advantage in a melee fight, Rally is an infinitely bigger advantage in a melee fight. EMP turns off the high noon, which means that the Outlaws don't have anything to be scared of anymore, which is pretty important. This is a nice Molten Core from Doha. I want to point that out because this ramp is where Winston would want to be right now, or like somebody would want to be on this ramp, or maybe Blase would want to punch up it or whatever. But this Molten Core makes it very annoying to dive on these heroes. So Decay has a momentary few seconds of free space, able to pick off Jexa with that space, but he gets isolated and killed. Nothing he can really do there between two tanks, self-destruct and a Winston. Blase rolls into Crimzo through Rally. That's super important. And this is also so bad for Fuel because they commit the Rally, which is, they've been waiting 3 minutes to get this Rally, and they're going to lose the team fight after they pop it. And the Brig's not even going to live the full duration. That's so bad. Like, this is really bad. Like, basically perfect situation for Outlaws here. Wait, why do they nano? Did they nano Meko to keep him up? No, they nano Muma. I would consider this an error. In hindsight, consider that an error. I think they would really have wanted a nano in the next team fight. And this fight is, like, super over. You know, like this fight is not. You cannot turn this fight if you're the Fuel, right? So I don't. It lets him kill the Rhine. Like he probably doesn't kill Rhine if he doesn't get the nano. Is that actually worth it? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know how you can talk shit on Muma's nanos though, because that's not Muma's fault. Like I just don't think he should have taken a nano there. Like he doesn't. I don't think he wanted the nano there. Just that's my opinion, but I don't think it's correct. I think nano is arguably the best initiator ult, and now Outlaws are stuck with only one ult. And you know, if you watch the match, you know how this goes. This time as well, look at that. Closers on the Lucio. And because of this Lucio, they're going to change their game plan entirely from fighting in these narrow chokes where they're all caught up together on the Rhine and getting cleaved by Winston. And now they're going to get out into this area where they have a lot more space. You can get caught right here in the first part of the rotation, but once the rotation gets to here, you pretty much can't be caught anymore. Like Winston can't jump into this. He'll die. So this speed rotation, if they have nano, they could literally go right now. Like if Repel saved nano from last fight, they literally just go right now, just fucking YOLO, and I think they would win. I think they would crush them here in this corner because then even you nano Doom here because when Muma has primal, like you could do a lot. But if you have the nano here, like this is the rotation Fuel needs to be making. Once you get high ground control, dive is a lot less strong, but now Outlaws are in a much weaker position. Now it's the Outlaws' turn to be in these awkward corners. They still have a little like semi-surround here, but the Fuel have a really strong position on the high ground to poke down at them here. So even though it's last fight, this is arguably like the best chance that the Fuel have had. Muma gets bursted like really fast here, I think. Yeah, he just needed a primal here. I think he's waiting for jump. I think it's like half a second cooldown. Let's watch this from Muma's POV. Let's give him a shot. Like, and to get a better idea of why I think they should go on this rotation is like right here. This is so juicy. Honestly, maybe Muma should have gone right here with primal even. Like, that actually might have been the play because this is a very bad spot for Fuel to be. But once Fuel get the high ground control, that's no longer true. But like down on this choke point, Muma could like jump in here and isolate these backliners or do whatever. He could go for decay. There's a lot of choices here, but I actually think this is where they should have gone. Like before Repel gets scared and Repel has to back off here, right? Or else he's gonna get like flashbanged by McCree. So Repel can't stay. But if Muma goes in right here, then Repel can stay, and that makes all the difference in the world. So now the Outlaws are in this really awkward position. Muma grabs the pack. He has jump here. He needs to just pop primal though. He's fucking 50 HP. Wait, he took so much damage so fast. I want to see Decay here. I think Decay just actually slaughtered. Okay, that's why. Decay hit a dink 2 body shot. Let's watch the Decay POV as they win this fight. Like, this position now, it's so awkward for Outlaws. Not only because they don't have a primal, but because the McCree on the high ground, even if you have primal, it's much harder to kill him, right? Beautiful. Just everything perfect here from Decay. God, he's so fucking good, dude. He's actually so good. Yeah, I think the mistake from the Outlaws wasn't even Muma missing the primal later. I think they needed to go on the rotation path. Don't allow Fuel to take the high ground control with McCree Torb. That's really bad. Repel had the high ground position to support the aggressive play. I think Dante might have taken some damage, but I think they needed to catch with the primal, catch the rotation path from Fuel. Don't allow them to take that rotation to high ground. Once that happens, the fight's really bad. Will you do the Dragon Slaughtering Dynasty? Yeah, sure, I'll do that one next. 2 is like a good number of reviews to do, I think. Then maybe I'll try and play some. I'm not going to look at Florida versus Boston. That was like a trash game. There's nothing to see there. Florida just shit on them. A trash game to review. I mean, like, Boston won like 3 team fights in the whole series, and they were all in Dorado. It's painful. Good catch on a Gamsu, and then that leads to... Decay also goes for this wild flank here, where everyone else goes inside the high ground. How does Gamsu even die? It must have been Blase. Yeah, Blase must have punched him into a wall or some shit. Stomps are harder to review or analyze. It's not. It's actually easier, but it's like meaningless. It's just like, yep. Like Florida got so many fights, they just get like a first kill and the fight's over. Like Boston have Grav Blizzard and then BQB gets a kill on the May. Okay, fight. All right, you missed half your combo now. Fight's lost. It's like, okay, it's not. Anyone understands that. There's no need to explain it, right? These games are a lot more interesting because they're a lot closer. So the reasons teams win and lose fights are smaller details, like timings and whatever. Blase misses his initial punch here, which is a big deal, and then he gets bashed as well. He's gonna survive, but it's Muma actually who dies. Muma went kind of all in on that one. Wait, why is Meko over here? Wait, where's Meko in that fight? Wait, Meko. Wait, what the fuck? Where is Meko when Muma goes in? This is a big misplay or big miscoordination here, right? How does Muma die? Muma's also only half when he jumps in. I think he peaked way too much here because he has really bad HP in this circumstance. Meko does his best, actually. Meko does his best to save Muma. It's just not enough. I really think Muma made a big mistake there to not be full HP when he goes in. Like, he doesn't need to be peeking. He can just rely on his teammates because he knows, like, there's only one place that fuel can come. Meko wasn't even out of position. I just didn't notice it in time. It was just Muma not having enough HP there to do the play that he did. He gets bursted before he has next jump. And now, intelligently by the fuel, they're just rushing in, trying to pick off backliners. Wow, that's a nice attempt by Pin Gamsu. This is extremely ambitious recontest. This is like the most ambitious recontest I've ever seen. I mean, ambitious is a pretty friendly word. I mean, it actually does, to be fair, it does force rally. So I'm actually is worth it in the end. I don't know that Fuel needed that rally, though. I think that was like, what the fuck, the recontesting? I guess I'll pop rally. But Closer's going to switch anyway, so that's maybe why he pops rally. He wants to switch. I don't know. Very ambitious from Houston. It ends up forcing good ults, though. It ends up being good. Like, the Primal ends up being worth because it forces 2 key ults. And Doha swaps Sombra, though, and Closer swaps Lucio. So the force ults, like, how valuable are they? It's not sure. Mumanano's in. Oh, nice sleep by Crimzo. Good kite by Crimzo and Closer. They're deep back in there, so they can't be caught. Almost catching Muma with the bomb, but I think the bomb actually woke him up because he boosted the bomb in. Muma takes a shatter. EMP from Dante. That's a huge EMP from Dante on 5. Everybody but Note. Rally does go down from Jexa. That's pretty significant. Jexa, I mean, usually you feel pretty invincible with Rally, but if they had Jexa up still here, I think the next fight could have been extremely different because with a Brig, it would have been harder to get these picks. I believe Doom and Diva are going to go down here for the Outlaws. Nice hack by Doha. Yep, hack onto Meko, and then everyone chases up here. And, I mean, maybe it wouldn't have mattered to have Brig there, but maybe it would. It's kind of hard to know. Ryan Diva is interesting. Is that common? Yeah, I think it's pretty common. It's pretty common if you want to play Ryan against Dive. You don't really want a Zarya. So it's better to play Ryan Diva if you're going to play it against Dive. Or Ryan Sigma. I think Ryan Diva is like the most anti-Dive you can play. Hack on a Jexa. He's isolated. He's low. Ooh, Jexa barely sneaking away after that hack. That's a big deal. That keeps them in this fight. If he dies there, I don't know if they can really go for this. I mean, they have to, but not quickly. Now the dive comes in. And the pressure is heavy onto Nope before the start of the dive. Repel, once again, free position, just doing whatever he wants, throwing nades, casting from the backline. Blase is hacked, but it doesn't really matter here. Oh, and this, I love this. This is so nice. Imagine being Note here. Let's just watch Note POV. It's smart by Note. He's like chain meleeing. I wonder if the Outlaws could have done this better. Oh yeah, I think maybe Meko messed up to let him get out there, but still, it's really annoying. Look at the duration of that Diva stagger. Let's figure out the duration of it. This is a very nice play from the Outlaws. Like, I think people don't realize how important it is to do this. Like, they don't understand how valuable this is. This is incredibly valuable for, and the reason it's incredibly valuable is there is no counter to this. If the Dallas Fuel runs in while Note is being stalled, Outlaws just kill Note and then they kill everyone else because they have a free kill. So by like almost by definition, the Fuel cannot help Note. If they come in to help him, they end up paying a way steeper price than just letting the delay happen. This sleep is really important because it lets the Outlaws set up in this annoying ass concave so that he can't get to the edge of the map. Noah is doing the right thing though. If you spam melee, it like pushes people just a little bit. So if you spam melee a shit ton, then it can you can like wiggle your way out. So that's correct from Note. That's all you can really do here. Muma almost killed him with the jump, but barely gets in front of him. That's a big deal. Note like just remix here just to like I don't know what. Like he's like trying to push them away. Like you're always gonna insta die in remake like this because everyone's right on top of you. And Note is back to full HP, which means you can start bashing him again and shit. Imagine if Repel hits another sleep here. But overall, it's like a 30-second delay. This is like most of a team fight delay, and like it's just so significant, you guys. It's like so game winning to do shit like this. Fueler are still fighting though. I actually think the Outlaws could have been quicker to capitalize on this. I think the Outlaws should have immediately gone in for a fight here because I think Fuel got really greedy coming out of spawn like this with their Diva that staggered. Blase is going to go in. Hack on Dejexa, but he still goes, Decay still goes down because he used all his cooldowns. Yeah. That's a massive EMP from Dohan to everybody. And then they nano him as well, so he can charge with another one. Doesn't end up going as well as Fuel would have wanted, though. Focus on the Doha there. Nano into Blase. Like, the thing about this fight is it's total chaos, but that's exactly what the Houston comp wants, and it's not what Fuel wants. Fuel wants 6-on-6 engagements. God, he's so low, he barely dies. Yeah, this is really painful now for Fuel. I think the only reason Outlaws lose the next fight is these pickoffs. So you got to give props to Decay, or no, it's not Decay. It's actually Doha and Crimzo who set up these kills to get the next team fight win. Goms are just trying to hold position here to be an annoyance. Fuel or Outlaws can't like go in on him here in particular. So Doha pushing point. Everything is fine. This is getting really awkward. Like, I like this from Outlaws. Like, don't fight. Make them come to cart, and when they come to cart, you have self-destruct. And there's the only cover is a Rhine shield. And you've got a ton of stuns, you've got hacks. There's so many ways this fight goes wrong for Fuel, and they just die to self-destruct out in this area. It's extremely annoying to deal with self-destruct, like just up in the air right here when you're all on cart. Somebody's fucking dying to that shit. Like, I don't know who it is, but somebody's gonna die to it. But instead, like, what is Muma doing here? Oh, it's because Dante is scouting the backline, and they want to try and take the initiation on them. If Muma just goes here and presses jump, I think he lives. But he gets caught by the hack. Nice hack by Doha. If that hack is like 1 second later, I think this fight is very different. And then the other thing that happens is... Oh, that's a nice sleep by Crimzo as well. Yeah, these are big mistakes, honestly. Both players, I think, making an error there, not to like get caught out like that. I think they wanted to go on this backline here, but they just weren't quick enough about it. Like, but you got to get props to Doha and Crimzo there. Big plays from both of them. Doha for scouting Muma and getting the hack on him, and Crimzo for getting that sleep off on a Dante. Like, even with just Dante alive, I still think Outlaws would have won this next fight. Like, but both players dying means this recontest is really awkward. Outlaws have like 0 map control, like, whatsoever. And then Gamsu goes really aggressive with the Shatter, which I like a lot. Puts so much pressure onto the Outlaws that they're forced to just like run out willy-nilly, which gets Jexus slept and pinned, which leads to the fight win. This is really good by Blase. Helps, gets the kill, but ends up costing him his life because he doesn't have ult. Doha probably didn't even need this EMP, in my opinion. This is really desperation mode, Nano. I don't know about this one. And the bomb? Pretty weird. Pretty weird from Outlaws, actually. I don't know why they commit those ults. Alright, and now the skybox is like not gonna work, so I'm just gonna watch player POVs. Let's watch the Rhine POVs. Always a classic POV to watch. Let's watch Dante POV, and then we'll switch to Muma POV. EMP, Muma POV. Enemy is EMP'd now. Beat comes in. Muma's got to retreat. Reaper on his back. Rally, though. Now they're strong again. Tried to get the pin, but Gamsu pinned first. Gamsu's going all in with his Nano, but Muma's not going to die to that. He's getting pocketed by his Ana. Nice sleep by Crimzo. Slows down the rush a little bit. Meko didn't have the ult I think he would have liked to have as this fight went along. Oh, I wish Meko would have tanked that Fire Strike. Have some energy here, but he doesn't want to use bubbles for fear of getting speed boosted on. No, Jex has boost too, though, so. Nice bubble from Meko. Buys as much time as possible, really, but that hack on a Doha is pretty game-winning as well from Dante. Now Blaze's in the backline with a Nano. Blaze doesn't even need to ult here. Oh, I don't like this, actually, from Blaze. Oh, wait, no, it's last fight. What am I saying? What am I saying? Of course, it doesn't fucking matter. It's last fight. Use your ults. I don't mean charge in terms of grab. Like, I know he just swapped his Zarya, but I mean he doesn't have enough energy. Like, he would have loved to have more energy pre-fight on Zarya. It makes a big difference in spamming them as they come across bridge. I actually like the comp Fuel is running again. I think this Rhine Sigma shit is really, really good. I mean, I think Orisa Sigma is better if you're mirror matching most of the time, but or Orisa Rhine. But I think with Orisa banned, I really like a Rhine Sigma comp from Fuel. I think it's very annoying to play against because there's so much spam coming in, and the Outlaws is still playing Rhine, so they still got to group up. How is the Zarya going to keep up with a Sigma? That's mostly just a nice wall by Doha, and he runs around the back, but overall, I think the strategy is just better here from Fuel. As well, I don't like this Reaper Doom on Rhine Zarya. I mean, the strat makes sense from the Outlaws. Like, they're playing all the heroes that have a thematic play style of, like, get the bubble, go in, kill some people, get out, right? Like, that's how they win fights. But even though they have, like, they have a good, I just don't like their comp's theme. I just disagree with it. Even, it's like, it makes sense why they're playing the heroes they're playing. I just wish they were mirror matching. Honestly. I think Sigma is just extremely good in this sort of matchup. It's very hard to play Reaper and Doom against Sigma effectively. I think Doom rather is pretty okay. Huge Maywall. This is a miss Nano as well. But Doha's Maywall is the play of this fight. Let's see Doha's POV of this. This is a nice Maywall. It's like preemptive, but just like perfect, just as the Nano comes in. A little bit preemptive, but that's how it has to be with a Maywall. Just a little bit early, and that's usually just the right timing, but it's hard to figure that out most of the time. Just a reaction. He just hears the Nano, and he just walls it off. This is definitely a mistake. Like, Nano was meant for Blase here, 100%. I'm almost certain. There's no reason to nano Zarya with low charge. It doesn't really make any sense. So it's just a miss. But though, even if Blase gets the nano, maybe it's actually better to have the nano on Meko in hindsight because of the Maywall. But before we knew the Maywall was going to come, obviously you'd rather have nano on Doom. I think their plan was to like nano Doom and bubble him so he can just go crazy on the backline and get them a ton of space, which like half works. Dante does a really good job getting in the backline, distracts everybody, and then wraiths out. It's like perfect play on Reaper. And now the Fuel are caught in this awkward corner. How do they get their way out of the situation? I think they do win. Like the setup from Blase. Oh, Jexa dies that. And now it's looking on really rough. Both DPS out of commission for Outlaws. Decay runs over the backline. Just gonna watch Decay POV. God, he's such a cracked gamer, man. Could have been bad if he had shot repel here. Ooh, I like Decay does not care, dude. No respect at all. This is the fight that Outlaws like has to win, right? Because they finally have a grab. But this is why I don't like this comp, is you don't get grab, man. Like you're just shooting shields on Zarya. Like Meko's dealing damage, he's just dealing it to shields and not players, which means like I think if Fuel are running a diva, this comp makes a lot of sense. I think this comp punishes diva really hard, beats her up and just takes her out of suit and fucks her up, right? She just can't matrix everything she needs to matrix. But Sigma I think is really good, and so is McCree. Like, there's no answers to McCree or Sigma that Outlaws are playing. But it shouldn't matter because grab is broken. Nice. Sneaking up on the flank. And this is exactly what they needed. Shatter as well cancels the beat from closer. That's really epic. Epic Shatter. Because if he gets that beat off, like, Fuel doesn't win the fight, but they definitely charge a lot of other ults. Which is normally what happens with beat, is you charge like your Shatter and your Blizzard and whatever. If you're fighting, you're charging ult. But because of the Shatter by Muma canceling that, Muma actually clutched pretty hard on this offense, to be fair. I think he has another big Shatter after this. Just baits the sleep dart, that's nice. Ryan Sigma is greater than Ryan Zarya. In this map, I think so, yes. I actually think Note should have stayed on it, to be honest. Given this comp, like you're playing Mei and McCree, so you're hardcore shitting on the shield. Like Fuel wants to play a comp that really spams, but now they have this Zarya, and Zarya's not really a spam hero. She's more of like a get in there hero, which Outlaws comp now I think is better because I think the Zarya doesn't fit with the theme of Fuel's comp, in my opinion. Yeah, they all walk past Dante, but they end up canceling his ult, I think, so it doesn't really matter. All of his GF, thanks for the prime sub. What's the Shatter from? Muma gets a huge Shatter, I think. Or maybe it's not this, maybe it's next fight. Yeah, this fight went bad because Blase gets slept in his initiation and then Dante gets flashbanged, so his ult doesn't kill anybody. But I think the ult was good from Dante. K was just too prepared with the flash. Muma needs to like pin out here. Oh, this is awkward. Just goes for the kill on Doha, but not gonna work. The Blizzard is good actually here because it finds Meko. It's not because it finds Muma, but it's because it finds Meko. And then resets the energy tempo. Still though, I even through all this, I still think I would rather have Note on Sigma here. Like, because you're playing the McCree Mei, you have these really dangerous backliners who will win the attrition game. And you're playing against Reaper Doom who want to go in and Zerg on you. And then Zarya is a little bit vulnerable to getting Zerged on when she uses her self bubble. So I would have just rather seen a Sigma here, frankly, from Note. Like even throughout, like yes, they won the last fight, but I just think they would have done even more with Sig. You don't know what to play, which DPS are dominating. I think Ashe is really good right now because hit scan is really good, and the other hit scan are banned. So and Ashe has actually had such big buffs recently. You know, she's actually pretty legit. I meant to say. Nice jump by Mima to get on this high ground off the cart. It's a cool little tech. Dante just running in on this. See, this is a problem. with the Rein Zar is, in my opinion, a Sigma would do way more to pressure this Reaper, and like you cast Rock and maybe he has to use Wraith and run away, or you use your Eat to annoy Reaper. Like, I don't know. I just think Sigma would have been better here. Decay has to high noon, but he gets slept because he's alone on the high ground. But if you're playing Sigma, Sigma might have been high ground. Maybe Sigma would have been low ground. Maybe that's not a valid criticism. This Shatter is game winning from Muma, for sure. Dante is just sitting on their heads, shooting them. Be a nice pin as well. Good timing. I think Echo will get some playtime now. I think she'll see some playtime, probably. I think she is a pretty good hero. Like, she does a lot of fucking damage, but that's all she does, really. Well, then again, the ult is like dumb broken. It's actually way OP. That ult is really, really crazy. The rest of the kit is like, Echo normally is not too hard to kill for hit scan, so it makes her like, yeah, she does a lot of damage, but Pharah does a lot of damage too. She's not that good, you know. All right, I know who's POV to watch. You got to be patient. Nice beat by Jexit. Oh, see ya, kid. I want to go back and watch this beat timing because it's just so nice. It's so pretty. I will explain this beat. This is an epic beat. An epic beat by an epic gamer. Alright. Pola Pollen Chadtronic. Thanks for the sub. Welcome to the gang. Alright. So here's the thing about this beat. He doesn't have it in time to save Meko. Meko's a lost cause here. Beat's close, but like, oh my, I just pressed back 20. Like, he literally just gets beat as Meko dies. There's no way he's going to save Meko with this. But what he could do is be like, oh shit, my team died. I press beat right now. He could press beat literally right now. Be like, I'm trying to get beat. Press Q. But he doesn't. He waits. And the waiting makes all the difference. Because now we're going to switch to the Gamsu POV. And imagine being Gamsu here and think what you do. Like, Gamsu's like, we got to kill Nazaria. I'm going to fucking kill this Rein. I'm going to swing on Muma. Look at him. He's going in. Uh-oh. Gamsu is far from the door now. Guess who else is coming out? Crimzo's coming out. If the beat is 2 seconds earlier, Crimzo probably hides. He probably goes out the other side. Or just like drops a nano in. Or Gamsu is further back so Crimzo can nano him from a safe location and still be playing inside here. But because Jexa delays the beat for a few seconds, he's like faking that he doesn't have it. And what that does is it baits Fuel out and it baits them into their deaths. This is a really nice boop onto the Lucio. Everyone's barely surviving on slivers of health for the Outlaws. Grav is wasted by Note. That's a beautiful sound barrier right there. You can't complain about that one. Guys, this is how you play Hammond. I want to make a good point is, when you go Hammond to fast touch and you win the fight, this is what you do next. You fucking get off Hammond. It's a bad hero. People in rank like go Hammond to touch and they're like, I can snowball with it. I'm 30% to mines. It's like, yeah, good luck, dude. You don't do it. You go, you do the right thing and you go fucking Zarya here. I still want Note to be on Sigma here. I don't like the Zarya. I really don't. I think when you're going to play the better range DPS, you should, and you're even going to play Brig. You're even going to play Brig. The ultimate passive hero. Like, Fuel's comp cannot go in. You don't have speed boost. How do you go in on a hero team with speed boost? They'll just speed boost back or just speed aura back. You just won't be able to connect with them. And it's because of the way Fuel's playing, I just think it'd be so much better if they had a Sigma. Just so much better. Like, I just think Fuel's comp has lost their thematic integrity. In the first defense, when Note's on Sigma, I thought the comp had a lot of integrity because McCree and May, both pretty strong shield traders, definitely better than Reaper and Doom. And Sigma, I think Sigma is just way better against these two heroes than Zarya is. Zarya has one bubble for an ally, right? So you can only save one person. And if the Reaper's on top of your Rein, the bubble is not really going to help him. He's still not going to be able to swing on Rein if these heroes are shitting on him. But a Sigma would allow your Rein to just hold shield, and you're still winning. When you play Zarya, your Rein feels like he has to swing to get you value. So I just don't like this just choice from Fuel. I think Note should never have switched to Zarya in this entire game. On defense, at least. I don't think it's correct ever. Unless you're going to switch both DPS. I just don't like it. This nano by Blase is so game-winning, too. Does Blase die here? He does. Oh, okay. Actually, Outlaws win this fight if, in my opinion, if Blase ults here and he's in the back line and doesn't get shattered. Dante does die, but I think they would have cleaned up. Like, these players are really low. Blase has nano ult as well, so he could probably kill somebody with the ult. And then they could have clutched, but, yeah. Doesn't happen. It is what it is. Switch next life. Almost have Oldham staying. Yeah, it's a classic. Dude. People get baited into playing Hammond. I mean, I understand if you're going to play like a full dive comp with Hammond. Okay, sure. But if you're playing like Ryan Hammond, you need to get the fuck off Hammond. It's actually a trash pick. Never plays Zarya on defense. I mean, I don't know if it's... I wouldn't look at it that way. Like, I'd look at it like the overall team comp. Now they're playing Torb. They're playing like a super spam hero. If they had Sigma, man. If Fuel had Sigma. I don't agree at all with Note's decision here. Maybe it's a team decision, but I don't agree with it. Like, I think you can't play Zarya without Lucio. Like, if you're behind on the close range damage brawlers because you're running 0, you're running like half with McCree, and they're running 2 of the best close range damage brawlers, the 2 best in my opinion, and they're running enemy team running Lucio. Like, Note has such a hard game right now, and I think if he's on Sigma, he has a much easier game. Like, I think the game plan is so much more straightforward from Note if he's on Sigma, just spamming and kiting. Whose POV should we watch? Let's watch Blase. And now no ults at all. This is a rough fight. Only one ult though, so only Doom ult, which isn't all that good on its own for Outlaws. So this is far from a free fight for Outlaws. This is like an advantageous fight. But that's it. Someone's got to break that Torb turret. That's a big annoyance. Like, it's pretty much only Repel, Jexa, and Mecha with right clicks that can do it, but... Nice. This is... Oh my god, he's gotten so much fucking value. Wait, this is a bit of an error. I don't think Blase should have gone for McCree. He should have gone for Ana, but it's whatever. Mecha just runs over them. Alright, I want to go back and illustrate my point about Zarya by watching Mecho's POV this fight. Torb goes hard. Not really, man. Torb shoots shield hard. That's what he does. He does not do well against a Reaper at point blank. So we're going to watch the Mecho POV, and then we're going to watch the Note POV. And we're going to show how much more Mecho is doing in this fight. Okay, that is an epic shatter, and Note's just fucking dead. We're not going to watch the Note POV because we just saw what happened to Note. But I just feel like Note, or rather Mecho with the speed amp has such a massive advantage in this situation. Brawl, dive, and poke. I think that's generally the three ways to play Overwatch is brawl, dive, and poke. And there's like sort of variants of all of them, but I don't know if you can class a hero as just one or the other, right? Because you could play Mei in a poke composition, but you could just as easily play Mei in a dive, or not dive, in a brawl composition, right? So I don't think you can class the heroes. Like Orisa can be played in a poking composition or in a brawling composition. You know, let's think of another example. Diva can be played in all 3 compositions. McCree can be played in not dive, really. Sort of in dive, but mostly in brawl or poke. Probably he's best at poke. Like every hero probably has a comp that they're best in, but I don't think you can distill it to just one, you know. You can play Ana and all those. Yeah, supports are the worst. Because supports, I mean, there's no fucking classing the support. I mean, I guess, like, Zen, you won't play Zen in a brawl composition. You won't play Brig in a poke composition. You know, but the supports are, like, the most variable. Like, you could play BAP in all 3 compositions. You could play Ana in all 3 compositions. You could play Lucio in all 3 compositions. Arguably, you could play Mercy in 2 out of 3. Moira in... probably just brawl, actually. Well, no, Moira and dive as well. So I don't know. I don't think it makes any sense to classify heroes into those 3. I think you classify overall strategies into those 3, which I do think is accurate. But when you get down to the hero level, I just don't think it's correct. Or maybe correct is the wrong word. I don't think it's particularly meaningful. Nasty Penguin, thanks for the prime sub. Soldier and dive poke, yeah, I'd say so. Soldier's not very good though, so I don't think about him very much. Lucio's almost pure dive. That's not true at all. Lucio is like the most important hero in Brawl composition, and he's only like, he's not necessary in dive. He's okay, but he's definitely not the definitive dive support. Zen is almost pure poke, but yeah, but you could like a poke composition, like you could just as easily play Zen in a dive composition as a poke composition, in my opinion. I mean, Zen might not be the best choice in dive. I think he's like most natural in poke, but yeah. I don't think you really learn anything by looking at the game that way. It is actually good to look at the overall team strategies that way. Like, this is a dive composition. This is a brawl composition. But I don't think looking at each hero as an individual tells you that, right? Like, maybe, okay, Hammond is a pretty much a dive-only hero, in my view. Some people play it in other circumstances, but I don't think it's the best hero in those circumstances. Oh, there was an epic fight here by Repel. We're watching Repel. How does he live? How does he live? How does he do it? He just walks out. What the fuck? What the fuck? How did he do this? How did he do this? What is going on? His nade gets eaten. Alright, we gotta watch this in the Repel escape here, the great escape of Repel. He gets an armor pack from Jaxa. That's pretty much all he gets here. How does he do this? Yeah, and then Jaxa happens next. The first one is Repel, and then Jaxa happens next. Note, great job by Note. It's all the cooldowns. Absolutely all of them. Sleep and nade. Literally just nobody's looking at Repel. Oh my god. How does he live? It's actually so bad. And now we're on Jaxa. Jaxa, what's going on? Jaxa's in the belly of the beast. I think this is on Gamsu, actually. Gamsu needed to hit these players. Jaxa, run. Run. He's surfing the Rhinehammers. He bashes away Gamsu. Really, really important. Kite. He's running back. Now Repel's here to save him. Repel with the fat heals. How does Jaxa do it? He's still alive. How are you alive, Jaxa? Oh, Repel heal. Repel heal. Oh my god. Dude, how did they live? It's ridiculous. They should not have lived, either of these players. Yeah, Gamsu needed to swing 100% there on the Ana and the Brig. Well, the Brig was less important, actually, because Gamsu did swing on the Brig. Jaxa just peeled him off, but somebody needed to kill Repel there. There's absolutely no way Repel and Jaxa should have survived this fight. And the only reason Jaxa survives is because Repel survived, so. That was literally obscene. I was talking about that so much in the cast, and it's because it was literally ridiculous play. See Decay POV. Let's watch Decay. We can watch. It's not really good though, because in dive, in this matchup, Brawl versus dive, Reaper just walks around and shoots tanks. It's like omega boring to watch him. So maybe he'll TP on the backline, but probably not on this map with Brig and Ana together. You can't really TP into that. That is so ridiculous. I don't know how the fuck those supports live. And now this is a big problem because now this happens. Good luck winning this fight. Decay does get a big pick off here under Dante. Dante maybe overplaying his hand there trying to kill that Reaper. Should have just backed off and let his teammates finish the job. But it doesn't really matter because 5-on-5 favors the dive. And it also, less players alive favors. The big annoying thing about this team comp is that Outlaws don't even have to fight. They can just run around point and get 99, you know? Like Nano on the Blase. Blase drops low, but he gets saved, I believe. Crimzo commits his rally. Like, this is where Fuel is losing the game, or the round. I think he actually broke the TP. Oh, no, he didn't. Wait, how did Doha TP there without taking damage? That's weird. Maybe Doha had, like, the frame-perfect TP or some shit. I don't know how that works. And now Outlaws get a sweep forward and get some more kills. Decay dying here would be really big, but they do a good job saving him with the armor packs from Crimzo. This round is pretty much over, I believe. Now we're back on point. It's kind of a brawl. I missed the start of it, but I don't really care. Now Jexa has rally, so it's a big advantage. A one-man EMP on Muma. I don't know about that one, Doha. I don't know about that one, Doha. Doha is like, or Muma's like, what happened, man? Why you hate me? He just walks away. I don't know about that, EMP, Doha. Very weird. Very weird stuff. And Dante's just gonna get out. Fight's over, like, mostly because the Gamsu shatters Jexa there, but that EMP was 0 impact, I think, from Doha. Virtually 0 impact. Pretty questionable. I think he could have just literally held left click there instead of EMPing and would have been a better fight. I like Muma switching off Wrecking Ball here. I don't think Wrecking Ball is that good here. It helps on the mid fight. There's like Muma's going for the roll up play on mid fight, and they didn't lose after that, so makes sense. But nice move by Fuel, really aggressive move. But Outlaws like sneak out of it really well. Big hack, and he EMPs Reaper as well. I love the EMP actually there. Just catching Reaper before because Reaper gets caught by that. Reaper would not have been caught by anything else. That's such a big hack as well from Dante. So Note can't use self-destruct here. Note definitely would have, I mean, it's last fight, so of course Note was going to use ult there. Ease mode. Maybe to hack mines? I guess, dude. I don't think that's worth at all. Let's go back. Let's watch the EMP. It's a worthy idea. That's why he did it, but I still don't think it was correct, but we'll see. I just don't think he needed it, you know. No, he's all for it's here. I guess, but nobody was in the mines, right? So I don't know why you would do that, because nobody's in the mines. The mines weren't even like that big for Muma, so. Hooner, welcome back for 11 months. Thanks for the Prime sub. Appreciate it, Hooner. Oh, what a hack. I don't know. I don't think that EMP is really justifiable from Doha. Like, if the only reason the EMP the mines is if like your whole team's in it or some shit, but I don't think that was gonna happen. EMP building fast. Yeah, Doha's building it fast because Muma's on Wrecking Ball, so it's like there's no shields that block your EMP farm. And Dante's building it fast because he's playing a dive comp, so he's usually going to be able to like get in the back line and own. This is a weird TP from Decay, actually. It's irony is like if Decay just didn't TP and just walked in, he would have done a lot. Nice hello from Decay. Muma barely living. Skin of his teeth. But he's just baiting the Fuel into a chase, and now he goes for the epic cleave of epicness. Nice quick farm in the EMP. Oh, wow. That was high impact. That was high impact. We're going to watch that one again. Killing Note here. This is extremely close. If Note gets back into suit there, that could have been very, very bad. Because there's no way they would have been able to kill the mech. Huge pick-off, actually. Made all the difference in the world, in my opinion. Muma's just, like, focusing down the Crimzo. Crimzo, like, plays to live here, which is kind of his only choice, but Muma just knows if he kills this guy, it's game over, and Crimzo doesn't do anything when he runs away. He doesn't heal his team, so that's fight over. Alright, Outlaws, how'd you fuck this one up? I'm gonna start to watch player POVs because it's more fun. Watch the Blase POV. Oh, that was so close from Blase. Needed to be just an inch higher on the stairs. Torball isolated. Oh, almost got the hack on a Gamsu. That would have been really big. Meko finishes off Doha though. Oh, Blase. That was close. Blase's rolling. Delay this guy. Delay this guy. Don't kill him. Oh. Oh, he was close enough to mech, I guess. Maybe it's worth killing him. How's this one go? Blase has ult here, so. Ooh, dodges the bash. That could have been bad. If he gets bashed there, I think he would die. Just going on the high ground. Wait, Doha got dominated here. We gotta watch this again. Doha got absolutely dominated. Dante already has pack. Didn't even see it coming. Did Meko need to bomb that? Maybe, but he just wants to be back in the suit. If he doesn't bomb there, then he wouldn't really get the chance to be back in the fight, or they would give a power play to Fuel potentially, so he just uses the bomb there. And then finishing off Node anyway, so not too bad. Yeah, they did stick around too long on 99. They tried to, like, not win it, but they were definitely, like, I don't know why they were sticking around. You make a good point. Like, this fight is scary because it looks really winnable for the Outlaws. Like, they've got a really dangerous combo in EMP Mines, but Rally is just as, if not more, dangerous than that. And the Rally gets off before they get the EMP, which is a game changer here. The beat commitment comes through, but doesn't get to Repel. Does Repel die? Wait, how do they lose from here, right? Don't they lose this fight? It's because Closure has beat? Or no, did they? I think they win? Okay, Crimzo finishes off Repel. The Diva Bomb, that's a huge one. And the beat. And the spawners as well. They managed to get Crimzo. Pretty nice. This fight, like, seems winnable, but I think now it's not winnable. Blase gets booped off. Now it doesn't seem winnable to me anymore. It's not bad, though, to stick around here. I think what's bad is this from... Well, it's actually not bad because they already have DPS ults on Fuel, so... Muma's pretty much farming ult for free. Like, having a Reaper and Sombra deal damage to you now doesn't matter because those heroes have ult. So, actually, what Muma's doing here is actually getting his teammates ult. Repel dying here is pretty bad, though. This is also pretty questionable. But, again, it actually doesn't matter. Like, if Muma lives here, it's really good. I think you should let Jexa heal him, though. I think you should stay with Jexa. Like, what is he doing right now? Just let Jexa heal you and get close to beat. It's kind of a big deal here by Muma. I think he really should have let... Like, he didn't do anything for the last 10 seconds. He should have just let Jexa heal him and get... Because beat is so important here and to counter the EMP. This fight's all Decay, though. The reason they win is Decay. 100%. He's going to kill Repel, and it's gonna win it for them. Ooh, that could have been bad. Decay almost got caught. Oh, wait, no. It's the next fight where Decay carries. Uh-oh. Dante, did he just get over aggro? Maybe he did. Huge EMP. I really wish Muma wasn't on Wrecking Ball here. I think he should be on Winston. I guess he had Mines the other fight, but I just don't think it's good in the mirror. I think Winston is just better. Like, these heroes are really annoying, you know? Without Winston to like, zap the... Whatever the fuck. Without Winston to zap the healers. I just feel like he's on Wrecking Ball way too long right now. They're trying to punish this Diva on respawn. But there's no way that's going to work. He's just trying to get ult, I guess? I don't know. Rally. Oh, this is the fight where Decay carries. Boom. And that's right as the commitment comes through. That's really nice from Decay. That's the reason they win. Because if Repel's still alive here, this EMP is... It's decent, but it's not great. Here's a point where Jexa would have had beat here. Not that he would have necessarily used it. Repel got 2 shots, so I don't think he's been saved by beat. But Jexa would have had beat if Muma let him heal. Damn, Decay is so sharp on this Reaper, man. He's so annoying. Decay's just too nasty with it. Oh, and he's hiding too. This is really good. I like the hiding play here. Even if Dante runs past, like, what are the odds Dante would check that corner? Pretty low. Oh, and Decay just walks out, and this is a really good position for Reaper. Again, Muma, like, why is he not on Winston here? He just gets hacked and killed. Oh, wow. They barely survived that one. At least Blase turns that around. That's really important. Let's see what Blase does. But they C9. Would they win? Let's analyze this. Does the Outlaws win? I don't think so. They have no tanks. I don't think they win, regardless of the C9. So it's not... A true C9, guys, is a fight that was like close. That was like you probably could win, and you still don't touch point. This fight, I don't see this winnable. Primal is gonna kill you all. Lucio Brig gonna kill you all. No support ults. No ults at all. I don't know. Muma comes back, but he won't even have mines. He has to like roll through to get mines, so he can't even initiate with mines. He has to like, yeah, there's no way they win this fight. So the mistakes here are basically Decay getting the solo kill on Repel, Muma getting hacked and killed a couple fights in a row. Yeah. And then probably also when Repel dies, trying to make the 99. After getting 99%, they just stay in a little bit too long with Repel and he dies, which makes the reset longer than it should have been, which means the Outlaws get one less fight than they should have had, or they're a little more pressured on each of the fights that they do have. All right, here is where I think Fuel's comp is just better. I'm going to watch the Doha cam because I'm pretty sure this is the reason they win. Blase had a great series on Doom, but I think you got to know when to hold him, when to fold him. They got the Diva to counter the Doom. It's no more Zarya. If they have Zarya here, then I could see the Doom putting some work in. But Diva is really good at saving people from Doom because you just block the shots, you know. Because of Mei, Fuel gets free position in here. First problem. Like, if Outlaws runs in, they're going to get Mei walled and they're all dead. So, I think on this map, if you're going to play Ryan, you need Mei. Like, I don't know. They just need Mei. I think if Outlaws play this comp with no Doom and with a Mei in the mirror match, I think they would win. That's my view. Because now it's like, it's so awkward for the Outlaws. How do they do it? They have to like sneak in. And this wall blocks the punch bubble play from Blase and Meko. So that initial opening gambit that the Outlaws wanted to rely on is gone. And now Meko has to wait for another ally bubble because he didn't really get energy off that either. Blase does something, but he can't hard commit without bubble. So, you know, he's just making some space there pretty much. Gamsu gets slept. This is huge. But I believe the punch does not connect on the back wall here. Unfortunate. Gamsu getting backwalled there, he would have died. He's pretty low, so that ends up being really high impact. Yeah. I just think the Mei is so good here, man. He just blocked the opening gambit from Doom, and then that's pretty much all he did this fight. But I think it's the later fights where the Mei really carries. Oh no, this is really bad too. Zarya is not escaping with energy. Yeah, Outlaws, I just wish you played Mei here, man. Oh, you could play Mei Doom also. Like, maybe have Dante go Mei. I think the Reaper and Doom are, like, more interchangeable, but Mei is extremely dominant on this map. Like, and you're going to see why. Not only was it that fight where they won mid and they chase the frags and they kill off Meko at high energy, which is such a game changer. If Zarya starts the fight at high energy, she's really dangerous. But if she has to build it up with all her bubbles, she's not that dangerous. Oh, Gamsu catches Note. I think that's Note fighting Blase on the high ground, and Gamsu just threw a fire strike in and caught him. Why did Muma drop down there? Maybe he missed the edge? I don't know. It leads to Jexa getting shattered. The Maywall blocked one side of his retreat. But I think dropping down there kind of cost them the fight as well. Again, Meko cannot escape with energy. 2 fights in a row. You could put a Mei behind them and then punch into the Mei wall. I just think you need a Mei. I don't know which hero is better. And I think with the way Outlaws have been playing, I like Blase on Doom. He's been playing really, really well. But I just think you need a Mei, especially against this Lucio break shit. Like, without an Ana, I think Mei is really good. And then this happens. Ana isolated. No retreat path. Death Blossom comes in, but it honestly is irrelevant. Yeah, I just think Outlaws needed Mei, man. Now this game is over pretty much here. Like, this fight is really hard for the Outlaws, and they're all gonna have to win like 3 more, so kind of over here. I think the Outlaws do clutch this fight, but I think it costs them everything. This is extremely annoying. Like, how does Muma deal with this? He's dead. He's not dead, but he's not doing anything either. Decays kills Blase. How do the Outlaws win this fight? Oh, maybe it's the B? How does this... I actually don't know how they win. Oh, that's why they win. Somehow Decay dies to Dante. And Muma, no damage is there to follow up on the Blizzard on Muma. Like, there's ways to play around the Mei on this map. For instance, one way I like to play around Mei is to send a Rein down mid to bait the wall, but the Rein is actually alone, so the wall has no impact because the Rein is solo. But you show behind the Rein in mid, then as Rein comes mid, everyone else speed boosts down the flank. So the wall comes in behind Rein because he's the first one in, and the Mei thinks she's isolating him. But in reality, everybody else is like preemptively coming in another direction, not even waiting for the Mei wall to happen. They're already on that other rotation, and then they can get in and save Rein. But like, that is much harder to do than just playing Mei, you know. I think because even if Mei only forces you to do that, it's still like annoying to attack into it. How do you submit a review? I'm just doing owl matches, so it's not. I mean, you could suggest a match. Blase, oh, almost dies. That's close. Such a high impact Mei wall here. Repel is caught alone with a Reaper. He's also not doing much here. A huge shatter from Gamsu. Damn, Nade just not quite up in time. That's it. That's game over. Good effort by Outlaws. Good effort. I think a couple mistakes here and there, you know, that just shows the difference, you know, top level gameplay. I don't think Mei is even all that OP right now. I think this is just an extremely good Mei map. Any map that has choke points that Mei can completely control with one ice wall is a map where Mei is going to be good, right? Like Hanamura is one. This map is one. You know, what else can you say, right? Like, if your choke point is completely controlled by one Mei wall, you're going to get split in half by the Mei wall. And that is, like, good enough on its own, right? Even if Mei didn't do anything else for you. Yeah. I mean, you can counterplay Mei, but I don't think it's... I think you need the counterplay Mei, but you should also be playing Mei to force the other team to counterplay it. I think Mei Doom there or Mei Reaper would have been the better choice, especially because Fuel was showing that Lucio Brig, and I think Brig is really, really good to play Mei into Brig, in my opinion. It's not like a hard counter because they still have Lucio, so you still get sped out of the freeze, so it's not like you're going to get huge grabs, huge freezes every time. But especially with Zarya as well, you've got like the power of the grab freeze. I mean, I actually think the comp Fuel's running. I think I like Zarya and Ana that Outlaws are running, but I like Mei so much more than Doom Reaper. I like Mei Reaper rather so much more than Doom Reaper that I think that's why the comp's better overall. Could Houston have won the fight on Root? Yes, but I actually think upon rewatching the Root fight, I think the real mistake by Houston was not they miss the window to initiate on Fuel as Fuel is rotating to high ground. Once Fuel is on the high ground, that's the point where Muma misses his window to Primal and gets bursted down by Decay. Mostly Decay, putting in work on him, like headshot, 2 body shots really quick. But the biggest mistake of the round, the biggest mistake was actually allowing the McCree and Torb to rotate to the high ground. I think because Fuel had gone a different path so many times in a row, the Outlaws were just expecting it to happen again. But then Fuel takes this different approach, and once the McCree Torb are on high ground, it's a lot harder to dive into them, with or without Primal. And if Moom and Primal's instead on the rotation before any of the Dallas Fuel are on high ground, not only will Repel be on high ground to support him and potentially find nades, find sleeps, but at the same time, the Fuel are in a really awkward position. They don't have a great spot for DPS or Ana to stand and deliver. So that was my analysis on the last fight of Route 66. It actually wasn't really Muma's mistake on dying before primaling. It was like he needed to go in and primal like 10 seconds earlier before Fuel takes the high ground. I think you should run Spree on Zarya instead of Meko. I don't think there's a single map where they went full-time Zarya, though. I think Meko has been a really strong performer for the Outlaws this season. I don't know. I don't think it was a roster decision that lost Outlaws this game. I think I would have agreed. I agree with their roster choices, but I would have liked a couple little subtle changes. I mean, they're all very understandable mistakes, right? Like, if I was playing in these matches, I cannot say that I would have recognized these situations and like made the right calls, because it's way easier. I want to emphasize this. It's way easier to sit here and do what I'm doing now and just tell you what happened after the fact when I can pause and look at the replay and look at the overhead and look at the health bars, and I've already seen the game once. Like, it's like literally 100 times easier to do what I'm doing now than it is to make the right call under pressure while you're playing. So I really, it's important to remember that, like, it's important to remember that when you criticize players, you know, like, you will not do better. I guarantee it in that situation, you know, you will not do better. And I think it's important to just keep that in mind.